Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today this is going to be a glutes focused Pilates routine. Is it intense? A little bit. Are you going to sweat? Absolutely, but that means real results. No equipment needed, just you and your mat. So this is how it's going to work. We're going to do all the moves on one side and then we're going to switch to the other side. We're going to do all of our moves for about a minute, no rest in between, and that is what is going to really make these moves burn. So let's go ahead and get started with some spine mobility work, some cat-cows to really loosen up before we jump into this workout. All right, so we are jumping right into some bent knee leg lifts. Important here to keep your toes pointed for this movement. Go ahead and check your posture in this position. Shoulders over your wrists, your core should be engaged, and your hips should be square to the mat. All right, no rest. Let's go straight into our straight leg lifts. Again, let's keep our toes pointed here. Try to keep your core and your back engaged so you're not sinking into your lower back. You don't need your leg to go super high for this exercise to be effective, so don't focus on height as much as control. Control is the word here. Okay, so let's start our curtsy leg lifts. First, check your surroundings to make sure you're not going to knock anything over. But this is very similar to a regular leg lift, but this time cross your leg behind your other leg. So in essence, you're making a triangle with your movement here between the two corners of your mat. So again, don't focus so much on height that you lose your posture. Focus on control, keeping it all pulled in, your core engaged, your shoulders, your back engaged as well. And let's keep going. And yes, this is the no rest in between these movements is what really makes it intense. And as you can see, I'm definitely feeling it. And also, I didn't realize how long my cat had been grooming herself. So, I hope you enjoyed that show. And when I said that you would be sweating, I meant you were going to be sweating. There's literally sweat like running down my arms right now. So, yeah. All right. So, no rest. Let's jump into our fire hydrants, a classic Pilates move. Go ahead, keep your knee in line with your hip, core engaged, and remember to breathe. All right, now let's pivot up into a demi side plank position. Your bottom knee is going to stay bent and your hip is going to stay stacked over that knee. Now let's raise that working leg and do some side leg circles. These ones are pretty intense as well. Remember to breathe. Remember, keep that core engaged. Really initiate this movement from the hip, from the core, and you're really going to feel those glutes working. Next up, let's go ahead and transition down to our mat, and we're gonna go ahead and get ready for some grasshoppers. So if you need to rest your head on your arms for this one, go ahead and do so, but I like to keep my head up, chin up, shoulders pulled back, chest open. So this works your entire back and core along with your glutes as you're doing your pulses. All right, staying on the mat here, we are going to do some hamstring curls. So the key here is to go ahead and bring your thighs off of the mat and curl your heels back towards your glutes. This is a great exercise to do with bands or ankle weights if you have them available, and they're really going to burn out those glutes. Now we are going to stay on our mat, but we're going to go ahead and transition to our back. And let's roll down and get ready for some glute bridges. So we're going to start off doing just regular glute bridges to really activate those glutes. And then we're going to transition into froggers or a froggy pump. I don't know. This move has so many different names, but I personally like the imagery of a frog. So I'm going to go ahead and call them frog glute bridges. So the key here is to keep the soles of your feet together and in essence just do a glute bridge. Go ahead and add pulses and hold at the top to make it even more challenging. Okay, so that does it for this side. Go ahead and get some stretches in before we get started on the other side. Okay, so now we are repeating all of those moves on the other side. Whatever leg you did not start with, go ahead and work that leg now. And now we are going to jump right into those bent knee leg lifts. Remember, pointed toes, core engaged, shoulders, arms engaged like you're pushing the mat away from you. You want everything to be tight and controlled. All right, no rest. Let's get into our straight leg lifts. Beautiful. Moving right into our curtsy leg lifts now. Now let's jump into our fire hydrants. And with this one, remember your lines. So keep your knee in line with your hips, your ankle in line with your knee. All of this is really going to contribute to the glute burn that you are seeking. All right, next up, no rest. Let's go ahead and pivot into that demi side plank position. So here you want to keep your hand under your shoulder, your hip over your knee, and all of that is really going to keep you stable while you are raising that leg and doing those side circles. This one, this one's killer. This one's killer. This one really got to me on this side. So, I mean, if I'm sweating, hopefully you are sweating as well. And I did have to do just a quick stretch there because yeah, my legs were on fire by this point. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep it going with our grasshoppers. Go ahead and bring your head down if you need a quick rest. Otherwise, on this side, try to keep it up to really engage that core and that back. Hamstring curls are next. Remember to keep those thighs up off the mat, even just a little bit. That's really going to target your glutes, your lower back, in keeping those elevated. If it's a little too much for you right now, go ahead, keep those legs on the ground. Otherwise, lift them up and burn it out. Okay, let's go ahead and do a quick stretch and then finish it out with our glute bridges and our frog glute bridges. So we're going to go ahead and start out with our regular glute bridges just to really feel that movement in our glutes. And then let's go ahead and transition into those frog glute bridges. Remember, soles of your feet together, and then it's the same movement of a regular glute bridge. And that is it. Go ahead and take as much time as you need on the mat before coming back up. I know that I had to take a few seconds there because I did not expect that to be as intense as it was. But anyway, you made it. And here at the end, let's go ahead and do some glute stretches to really relax those muscles from our workout. So let's go ahead and do a glute focus stretch here. Bring your foot to your knee. Go ahead and pull it in as much as you can. You should really feel this in your glute. You can take some movement in here, whatever feels good. Go ahead and do it on the other side as well. And try to really be grateful to yourself for showing up and doing this workout. It probably wasn't a whole lot of fun because it was pretty intense, but you should be very proud of yourself for making it all the way through. So, thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon on another video.